But you take both those together. But yes, Joseph and Mary were engaged to be married. And engagement was not quite married, but more than what we consider engagement to be. It was actually a contract to be married, so you couldn't get out of it really. Under normal circumstances. But they were engaged. She got pregnant while they were engaged. The angel did come to her and say, that this is of God. Joseph didn't know that. Joseph was like, he was going to divorce her quietly because his fiancée got pregnant. He was not the daddy. Right. So the angel came back. The angel came to Joseph and said, "Hey, I'm the daddy. Name him Jesus. They'll call him Emmanuel, etc., etc." You guys got all the details. And man, you got the wise men, right? That's you get props for that. The Bible says the Magi came, right? It didn't say 3 Magi, and they gave him gifts, and you share all the details about Herod trying to kill Jesus, and that's the great stuff. I encourage you in your own devotionals, for your family devotionals, to go back over the scriptures. I think a lot of times, what the world does for Christmas, there's a lot of positives to it and a lot of negatives to it. But as disciples, it's very important that if we're going to celebrate it, we make it about Jesus.
Amen.
And it's very important that we remind ourselves what the message is about and what the story is about. And particularly if you're raising kids, that we remind them what it's about. Or really teach them and what it's not about. And it doesn't mean that Satan gifts is bad. It doesn't mean that Santa Claus is necessarily bad, or Rudolph, whatever. But that's something very different than Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the pumpkin or whatever. That's something very different. All right, that makes sense to you?
Yes.
All right. Having said all that, that's not what the lesson's on today. It is about gift giving. And the idea that the Magi didn't know much, but they knew this was a gift from God for mankind. And this king, this Messiah was being born. And they traveled over large distances to go there and see this baby, to worship him, and then give him gifts and leave. That's a lot of way to go, right? But they traveled to worship him, then give him gifts, and leave. And it just comes to show, if it was so important for the Magi to give gifts to Christ, not understanding all of what it meant, right? How much more important is it for us to give Christ our gifts?
Amen.
That makes sense to you?
Right.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to actually read in Romans chapter 12.
Amen. All right.
And Romans chapter 12, I'm going to get some brave soul to read from verse 3 down to verse 8. Romans 12 from 3 to 8. Can you watch that for me, please? Romans 12 from 3 to 8.
For by the grace given to me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to you. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. Your gift is prophesying, and prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. It is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully.
It's a very cool passage.
Amen.
It talks about the fact that all of us the body's made of all different kinds of people. And that we've all been given gifts from God. And we shouldn't think of ourselves more highly than we are, because no matter what gifts we have, or who we think we are, it comes from God, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It comes from God, and at the end of the day, any glory for any good thing that any of us does goes to God, not to us. He said, look, what we got to do as a body is we have to identify what our gifts are and devote our gifts to build up God's people. That's really what it's all about, because all of us have been given gifts from God. All of us have been given things. One of the most encouraging things, I know encouraged all the leaders and Brian, everybody was encouraged by the concept, all of them, everybody was encouraged by it, right? One of the most encouraging things, we've done stuff like this before, right? And if we had put some things together that were entertaining, we've always brought talent in from outside, from other churches to help us out.
Yeah.
And that was fun. We had Michelle and Levi and the gang and Brian, people come and help us out, and Beyonce, and that's great. We may have them come again for some reason, but this was done all in house.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and as HavenRock continued to grow, and we're not just growing people with gifts. And
Amen.
it was very, very encouraging to see the gifts on display on Sunday.
Amen.
To see those gifts on display, people using the gifts for God, and that's awesome. So it's a talented group of people, and a lot sometimes it was. Sometimes Satan gets us in a situation where we have these amazing gifts at our job. And with these amazing leaders, and we get things done on our job, we have these amazing gifts at our school, but when it comes to serving God with our gifts,
Come on, Barney.
our
That's
gifts are not on display.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the best of us
Yeah.
is not reserved for our service with God.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, but everybody here has been given gifts from God, abilities from God, insight from God. And it's not wrong to work and use those gifts, right? It's not wrong to, and you want to become a billionaire, you think the gifts that God's given you, go at it. Just make sure you give to God first, right?
Right.
But go at it, and that's fine. But you know, the primary reason He gave you the gifts is to glorify Him.
Yeah, right.
And so the main thing's got to be the main thing, not the afterthought.
Right.
No, whatever else we're using our gifts for, the main thing's got to be the main thing, right? And so it's really cool to see people using the gifts on Sunday to glorify God and build up God's church in an amazing way. But that's got to be the norm for us, not the exception for us. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
It's kind of cool the different gifts it talks about. That's about the gift of generosity. And some of these things that this passage talks about are things that everyone's commanded to have. So it's not like I can say, well, you know, Porter's got the gift of generosity, so I don't need to give, right? I can't say that, right?
Right.
That's not my gift, so I'm going to skip that one, right? No, it's like we're all commanded to be generous, but some people, man, they're a gift for it. I mean, it just kind of bubbles out. Like, it's like you're not. They're just generous people. They have the spirit. They're good at giving it away. And sometimes they're good at getting it. You know, they have a gift for it, right? And that's a gift that they have. And it says if that's your gift, then you excel at it. Don't resent the fact that your gift, excel at it. Because some people have the gift of leadership. All of us as disciples are called to lead in some capacity at some time. But some people have a knack for it, right? And you know, some people, I always say, some people, man, you're going to lead in the church or you're going to destroy the church. Because God has put it in you. And so you're either going to use for God, you're going to build the church up, or you're going to be the biggest critic. Because you see things, you understand things, you're not applying it. Right? Okay? And because God has put it in you in a way, right? He's put that gift in you. He says the gift of service, all the call to serve. Some people are just natural servants. And they're great at it. And they understand it. And they can organize it. And they can think it through. And they got it figured out. And that's awesome. And it goes on and on and on. We all have physical gifts. With the singing, we have skills that we've learned. And we have unique spiritual gifts and insight. Unique spiritual gifts and insight that God has given just to you. If you ever study the Bible with somebody, a group of guys or a group of girls that are studying the Bible, it's amazing sometimes how different people in that study will have different insight into different things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Based on the background, or understanding, or just whatever that God gives them. And you know, and you can believe the study whatever, but you'll miss it. One person's like, no, this is what's really going on over here.
Yeah.
Or they'll say something that gets through in a way that the person leading the study couldn't say it.
Right.
Because the journey is different.
Right.
Because they get it in a way
Yeah.
that connects. You know, that's one of the reasons why helping people become Christians has to be a team sport.
Right.
Because no one person has the insight or the ability or whatever. God gives all of us gifts, all the physical gifts, but even spiritual insight that's unique to us.
Yeah.
And it only works when we all pull together to use the gifts to build one another up. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And we're doing that, that's good stuff. We're not doing that, then it gets destructive. Because I'm gonna tell you something, it's like, well, on the 15th, you guys, you know what December 15th is, right?
Star Wars?
So, thank you
No,
very much.
I was gonna say it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a national holiday. That's,
No, it ain't.
come on.
No, it's not.
Alright, forgive me. Whether you get into Star Wars or not, whether you see the movie or not, you know that it's about the dark side of the Force.
Yes.
Like, you get it, right? And the light side of the Force, whatever. That's how gifts are, right? Because either you use your gift for God, just like the guy that the leadership thing. Look, we walk into a house, my wife and I, and we just see different things. And we'll leave the house, and Michelle says, "Man, what do you think about the color on the walls? Look, they're amazing." I'm like, "What was the color?" And that molding wasn't, that crayon molding was amazing. And so I'm like, huh? What kind of molding was it? Right? But trust me, I notice things that she doesn't notice either.
Right.
It's not the molding and the color of the walls, right? But she had different insight, right? And so when you walk into a church with all the strength and all this dysfunction, because that's family, every one of us sees differently. And we'll see different positives, we'll see different negatives. And here's the thing, if we don't actively serve to improve the problems that we see, you'll become the problem. You'll become the problem. And we'll be like, well, why isn't anybody fixing that? Because God gave the insight to you. Why? And you do. Who's that? You in the church?
Yeah. Come on.
The church needs to get better. What the church getting in place? It's a people, right?
Right.
God gave that insight to you.
Right.
And it only works when we all band together and we all work together to make it work. So, why say all this now? I think between now and the beginning of the year, it'd be great to do, we talked about a few weeks ago with generosity, doing a financial inventory of what I was giving, right? And hopefully you're doing that, you're studying, if you haven't studied out Malachi, go back and study Malachi for yourself. And do an inventory of your giving to make sure that you're giving in a way that's pleasing to God. And I would study the book of Malachi, I would study 2 Corinthians 8 and 9. And do that. If you haven't done it, do that and do a financial inventory. How is my giving? Am I being sacrificial in my giving? And the only people that can answer that question are you and God. Right? Okay, so am I giving in a way that's pleasing to God? So let's do that. But the other inventory I would do between now and January is, am I using my gifts? What are my gifts? God bless you. What are my physical gifts that I bring to the table? What are the skills I bring? Because that's different. Training, skills, experience that I bring. And then what is the unique spiritual insight that you bring? And all of us bring all of that, by the way. We all bring experience with that is valuable. And sometimes it's the pain that we've had that's valuable.
Yeah. Come on, Frank.
Because the pain that you may have identified as a burden is a gift for somebody else.
Wow.
Right. We all have a journey that's valuable. That journey is valuable. So that's an experience of skills. That journey is valuable. We all have God-given physical ability that's valuable, and we all have spiritual insight that is valuable. What is that for me? And am I maximizing that to the full extent to help people go to heaven and to build up God's church? And let's come up with creative ways that we can be our best. Look, this is a great thing that happened Sunday. It's the tip of the iceberg as we pull together. And we figure out how to make God's kingdom stronger and stronger by using the gifts that God has given us. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Any comments on that? Feedback? Questions? Insight? Mr. Aaron Bristol.
I like what you said about the different perspectives, because I'm very big on that, because I believe that everyone does see in a different way, and you know, if Micah is, you know, looking at it one way and I'm looking at it another way, it's just a different angles. There's always different angles on how you can look at things. And if Mike is looking at one way and I'm looking at another way, it's like, oh, I didn't notice that because you're at a different angle than I am.
Right.
And that can literally help me with my walk with God and stuff like that. So I think that perspective really got me.
It's good. The other part of that, I'm glad to share that, is that that's how you grow, too.
Yeah.
Because the person that's a gift of serving can teach the person that other people how to serve them.
Yeah.
The person with generosity, so we learn, we grow from each other. That's really cool. Let me share this for that you guys shared while I'm thinking about it. Because I'm older, you forget things when I'm sharing it. That's also why diversity is so important. We understand we're trying to get the gospel to everybody.
Amen.
You know, unless it depends on us, we're trying to love everybody. And one of the things we gotta pray about all the time is being colorblind, culture blind, you know, politics. But we don't talk about politics a lot because the truth doesn't matter in that. Not that the issues don't matter. I hope everybody votes on December 12th. I'm a big fan of voting. I'm a big fan of the political process. But at the end of the day, the church isn't the political process. And if we're doing our job right, we should have Republicans and Democrats and Libertarians and everything else in the church. You know, we don't see things the same way politically to love God.
Amen.
So at the end of the day, we should be colorblind. We should be culture blind, the whole 9 yards, and love everybody, reach out to everybody. Diversity is important because it's important to God to see the world that way. But diversity is more than the color of your skin or the nationality. You know the biggest gap in any room is age.
True.
Because the truth is, if I walk into a room of people, I'm going to have more in common with 50-year-olds of any color in the culture than 18-year-olds. Okay, and the thing I learned is, you know, I have to try to relate to an 18-year-old. I can walk into a room, I can tell you what 50-year-olds are worried about right now. I got the same thing, I don't care where you're from. You got the same anxieties, right? Okay, I got when I was helping campus before I got fired, I've got to think through Bible talk analogies and things. That's a long time ago. Right, I got to think through what's relevant and try to be relevant. I don't have to try to be relevant for a room full of 50-year-old people, right? Because it's like, I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing, right? It's always easier to relate to people who are like you. And so, it's also easier consciously or subconsciously to make people feel funny for being different. Yeah. And it's not always, it can be about color, sometimes it's about the music you like, whether you're suburban or urban, whether you're black like country music, if you're this, you like that, or whatever. People not feeling comfortable being themselves. And we've got to make sure that we have an environment where even in humor, we don't let people feel uncomfortable with being themselves. A, because it's not right, it's not of God, but this is the other thing about it. There's a value to uniqueness that people bring to the room.
Right.
There's a value. I've been to churches where we have all different colors of people in the room, but they were forced to act alike. That's not diversity.
No.
People got to be themselves. People got to be able to bring their own unique perspective. And even in the same race or the same economic group, people are unique. Have different experiences and different likes and things that are outside the norm. This has got to be a place where we feel comfortable and accepted and celebrated for that.
Yeah.
And that uniqueness is celebrated. But A, because that's right. But B, because we need the different perspectives.
Amen.
And the different points of view. And when we get it going on, worship in our church should be a very unique experience.
Hallelujah.
Because we should have people, man, raising their hands up.
Yeah.
And people that feel uncomfortable with that. People who are shouting and doing the happy dance.
Yeah.
And people were like, what are they doing?
Going that out.
We should be doing contemporary Christian 1 minute. And gospel the next, and hymns the next, and country hymn, and close out with rap. You know? Because it's all things, it's the experience of people being able to celebrate God with unique gifts, perspective, and points of view, and not feeling funny about being who God made them to be.
Right.
And we're gonna be real, sometimes we make people feel funny about what they do.
Yep.
And Christian McDonald had a dollar for every time someone told him he talks white. Or acts too white. Well, I'd be rich.
Rich man.
And the Christian's a nice guy, so I'm gonna speak for him. You know, if that joke's told 100 times, 99 times it's not funny.
Right.
It's not.
Mhm.
It's real.
Right.
Okay. And the truth is, we need more Blakes in the church.
Yes.
Amen. Every black person, not Tyrone. You got Blake still black. We got people of all different kinds, types, colors, whatever, but even
Right.
personality types.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to celebrate. That makes sense to you?
Right, right.
More comments and questions, ideas. I didn't mean to preach to you.
No, I just wanted to really encourage you. Thank you for that. Because I come from an environment. My dad used to always tell me growing up, he's like, Micah, if people reject you because you're a Christian, you're a Christian. I'm like, no, Dad, people reject me because I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you had dreads.
well, I didn't have dreads. I didn't get that evolution of Micah. But
Evolution.
no, that's so powerful. And I think it's just like there's a wonder in the fact that God uses such different people, but all for one praise.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
we should praise that, the fact that people are different. So thank you for that. That really blesses me.
Yeah, we all just need to be conscious of diversity and how, like, we can relate to more people like that. It's good.
Did I hear that?
I kinda didn't.
Yeah, we all just need to, just have a mindset of diversity and just be conscious of trying to relate to all people. And, pursue ways to do that.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. Evan.
I took you up on your offer last month to study out Malachi, and I've been sharing a little bit of it with the group, and I think it's been good. But the main thing I've been getting out of that is that when it comes to like spiritual health and spiritual maintenance, like you have to like spiritual health requires constant maintenance,
Right.
like a car or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're kind of inconsistent, and I'm speaking to me personally, and maintaining like your spiritual health, you can start to grow apathetic towards a lot of things, you know, or like inconsiderate of people who aren't like you.
Right.
And, you know, just because like you're part of the body or in church, you can really just grow to be inconsiderate of others, and we do more of a disservice
Right.
to the people around us. And so that really helped me to take a lot of inventory. And so I think moving forward, these kind of lessons will help us to grow in that area. So I appreciate you for that.
It's good.
Mm.
Good.
Amen.
There was this book called Wonder. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that book, but at the back of the page it says we are all God's workers.
It's awesome. It's very cool. Bettina?
Speaking about the gifts, you know, and us looking at our gifts, we had gotten, I had received an email about, a website that could help you find your spiritual gifts.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I went through it, and like, it's really neat. It goes through and kind of teaches lessons. So it helps you to not only find your gifts, but it gives you more insight into, you know, why we need them, and, you know, what happens when you don't, you know, like explore them, and kind of what you're saying, how we can get frustrated with people and things and stuff like that. So it kind of gives some stuff behind it, and it teaches you how to find it. So for some of us, our gifts are more prevalent, you know, but then for some, you can kind of be like, I don't know what my gift is. So it kind of helps you to dig deeper to figure it out.
It's good.
Amen.
Want to send that to everybody?
Yes, I will go through my emails and find it and send send and
Send it
make
to us,
sure
send it to us.
I send it to you so that you can send it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll do that.
That'd be great. I'm down, I'm just free. Free, I love free.
Yeah, it's free
I'm free to be me, that's
for
all.
our group.
Hard giving.
Anybody else going once? Going twice? Amen. Let's be great. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I don't think they want midweek's plan, huh?
I got you, fam.
Let's see what we got right quick.
If it is, that's the last one.
Next week is house church.
Yeah. So next week's house church, and I think at the 22nd and this is 6th, that's the 13th. The 20th and 27th, I think, are,
They say house churches.
is that what it says?
They're at various locations.
Yeah, I was lying.
We can change it right quick.
Was honest.
No.
He's confessing.
But the next week
Yeah,
is
he's
the
gonna
13th,
get
and
fresh.
my guess is with the travel and the holidays, we're not gonna have any real midweeks between the 13th and the end of the year. Probably something for New Year's Eve. I would imagine we'll figure that out. But I want to encourage you, next week is house church, and that is on the schedule. But after that, figure out while you're doing whatever, who you're gonna hang with. It's important to keep being inside with people in your life doing that. It's amazing how many Christians bottom out. They get so caught up in things. So, the fact that we're not having structured midweek on the 20th and 27th doesn't mean we don't get together. Does that make sense to you? All right, I'm gonna say a word of prayer and then I'm done. I'm gonna go home and try to sleep enough. Brown, let's pray for us.
Let's pray. Dear God, thank you so much just for allowing us to come and worship you, Father. Father, I'm just so grateful. Father, in the middle of our week, we can come and be refreshed.
Yes, sir.
Father, I pray that we don't take this time for granted. Father, that we see this time as value. I pray that we see this time as something, Father, that we can build on, Father. Father, I pray that we can, again, leave this room tonight filled up, Father. Father, if we're not, I pray we pull someone to the side, Father. And I pray we don't leave this building until we get help, Father.
Yeah.
Father, I pray again that we look at this as just gifts that you're giving to us, Father. You are always giving us gifts, and we don't even a lot of times realize it, Father.
That's right.
So I pray, Father, that again we are just again grateful for your word, grateful for Frank tonight to teach us your word. Father, I pray that again we can encourage anyone again who needs encouragement tonight. Father, be a friend to anyone who needs a friend. Father, we love you. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Can I see Jamal, EJ, and Faith for a minute? And Ron.
And there's some shirts left over there if you need to pick them up.
And shirts are looking good. We got shirts.
Ladies shirts if we missed it, some of the shirts that we need.